Trigger warning. This episode has mentions of suicide, SH, and CSA. If you are in emotional distress, please reach out for support and know you're not alone. You can reach out to the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by calling or texting 988, or reach out to the Crisis text line by texting HOME to 741741. Both of these resources will be in the description. If you're unsure if these topics will trigger you, please muscle test before continuing. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the Dance to Heal podcast. I'm your host, Jenny C. Cohen. Join me as I share stories of how life is a dance. I'm a cancer survivor, mother of two, and an award-winning performer who found that mind and body-connected movement is vital to healing in a way that is safe and tailored to your life. I created Dance to Heal Wellness featuring the Spotlight Confidence Formula and also authored the best-selling award-winning book, Outside in Recovery, Dancing My Way Back to Myself After Breast Cancer. I will bring new ways to help you on your dance journey and healing path. Are you ready to move? Dance to Heal starts now. My family, and I'm going to call you family because Barbara J. Beckley is such a special person in my heart and my life. I am so honored that she could come to this particular episode. So now listen carefully, audience. Pay attention right now. Barbara is a renowned visibility strategist. We titled this topic to catch your attention if you've ever wanted to be visible, to be seen. I just had a private belly dance client just do a testimonial. I didn't even ask her for it, talking about how it stopped her short when after she demonstrated what she had practiced. I do this normally with my clients, but she said it struck her when I said to her, you deserve to be seen. And so, audience, you deserve to be seen, and Barbara's here to show us how. Welcome, Barbara.
Yes, Queen Jenny.
I'm standing, so I have to dance. Keep going.
We gotta do we gotta do the dance.
Keep going, keep talking.
I love it. Well, first of all, thank you. This is an honor to be on your show. This is an honor to talk to your audience. This is an honor just to be here in the light. And I say the light because you're the light, lady. Every time we see each other, we talk through Facebook, whatever, my face just beams because I'm talking to you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. There's some people that just has that light that when they walk in a room or walk in anywhere, they just really brighten up, and you do that. So thank you for just being that lighthouse of the world for people.
Thank you, Barbara. And so we're all doing the heart shapes with our fingers on for my audio audience. You got to come to see YouTube about how cute we were dancing back and forth just now. Come to the YouTube channel, see how cute we were, right? And Barbara, like attracts like. You are just as bright, and you do such an important job. And audience members, now listen, Barbara has a special gift for you that is in the description for this episode. Come back to this episode, okay? This is an incredible, incredible gift from her about a journal, right? So make sure that she's going to walk you through some of the things that she would suggest you think about in order to be more visible. And here's the thing, especially for my people who are on audio, because my YouTube people you see already, like we're presenting our energy in a certain way visually for people. In the audio audience, you will hear that Barbara and I are actually very careful with our voices too, so that they're married together in how people are perceiving us.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Ooh, like I said, I think I'm glad that you brought that up about people, everyone should be seen. And I just did a talk yesterday in front of 100 people. It was online, and it was it was my Toastmaster family because I'm in Toastmasters too for over 15 years. And the thing that I started off with, and I told them, Queen Jenny, and as people know, I call the women queens and the men kings. So you're going to hear that throughout this podcast. But because I look at everybody as royalty. But I told them, Jenny, I was like, I want everybody tonight, and it was last night, to know that it's okay to be selfish right now. And everybody was like, what? She's not selfish. What's she saying, being selfish? I can't think about myself right now. I got to think about everybody else. And I know that's what we do. I do that. You do that, Queen Jenny. We all do that. But I wanted them to think about being selfish because the foundation of helping others is you have to help yourself and make sure that you're okay before you start going out there to the world and helping them to be okay. And they were like, okay, where's this going? I said, yeah, I want you to have that foundation because when you have, and I call it your purpose, passion, and drive, PBD. And what I say is because you have to have that purpose, you have to have the passion and the drive. It all goes together. That's the mindset that you have to take. So when those bad days come, and we all have those bad days, so don't say that you don't. We're not all smiley all the time. We're not happy all the time. We don't feel it sometimes. Just yesterday, I wasn't feeling it. But then I said, what is my purpose? What is my foundation? Why do I want to be seen? Why I want to be heard? Because somebody out there might need something that I'm saying or I'm doing. So that's what I want people to just really sit in right now, just for a second, and really understand that it's okay to be selfish right now because you have something important inside of you that needs to be seen, that needs to be heard. You do have a voice. And if anybody shuts you down and starts saying, well, I don't know, you talk funny or you look funny or whatever. Okay, you know what? That's why I need to be seen because what you're saying already is giving me more passion, more drive to do what I need to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's exceptional. I love that. I love that. So audience members, let's be really clear, okay? If you're in pain and crying out and not receiving help, that's different, okay, than us pointing out to those of you who have never felt like you could even cry out that you were in pain. I loved your reminder, Barbara, that you have to heal yourself. That includes asking for help. All right. So if you tune into opting in for Barbara's journal, you get a one-on-one call with her. And that's worth, like, dare I say, thousands of dollars that she's offering for you to help give yourself permission to be seen and heard. All right. And again, remember, because my returnees, if you're new to this episode, I always remind people to access my gift at danceandheal.com. So then you can get into your body and then you book that call with Barbara, right? Because it's essential. There are modalities meant for you. You just have to actually pick it up. We can't force you because we're on the screen. I could make you pick it up, right? But all right, so my audio people, I'm making this like weird hand gesture to make you pick it up. And in reality, it really is, the ball is in your court. And before you are like, oh, that's for other people, not for me. How do we get those people to understand how important it is to do something like be seen, Barbara?
Yeah, I always say that your stories, and you hear this all the time. Well, your stories are your secret sauce, or your stories are meant to be put out there. And people mostly it's right. They're right. Because every story can heal somebody else. Every story can give somebody some hope, especially if you went through it and you're on the other side of it, or even if you're going through. People want to have connection. People want to feel like they're connected with others. People don't want to feel alone. And a lot of people out there, they might be feeling alone right now. And I want you to know right now, right this second, because we have people that might have went through different diseases or cancer. I mean, everything that I'm listed, I've been through it myself. Jenny been through it too. And we just want you to understand that when you open yourself up, that's going to help the healing process of wherever it is needed. And when you know somebody else that went through that, that's even better because now you're like, oh, I'm not on this boat alone. This island is not naked. It's just not me.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I remember my very first solo. Oh my gosh, girl. 2009, I was invited by this really big name fusion fest in Atlanta. I've been going there a few years, but they invited me finally to be a soloist in their show. And it was a very coveted spot. Like, there a lot of local people weren't accepted because I was out of town. That was my secret sauce to get into the show. And I opted in to do a dance about when my son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
Mm,
And the way I do my solos now versus that very first solo were very different, right? I
mhm,
wasn't healed yet. So I was literally getting myself back into that state of desperation and rage when he was diagnosed. I
yes.
brought the house down, Barbara. And I had so many people coming up to me and like really, really affected by it because they were like, how did you know how much pain I was in? Right.
Mhm,
So I don't do that anymore because it really is not part of healing for me to put myself through that, right? I tell stories from the healed part, which actually had more of an impact because then I started getting standing ovations, which is really interesting because before it was everybody cried, but you know, and applause, of course, right? And then after, as I was healing and dancing and storytelling about experiences that are universal, but from my personal perspective, Barbara, I started getting standing ovations from people, and it was like mind blowing. I'm like, those are pity ones, right? Because you feel bad for me, I have cancer, and no, really, you really feel I deserve that? So, audience members, hear that. There is so, even if there's just one person in the audience of whatever you choose to speak or be seen in, that is meant for you to help feel less alone. And it's your obligation. Sorry, is that bad?
Yeah.
It's your responsibility.
I'm glad you said that, Queen, because I always say I have an accountability for myself to make sure I put everything that I need to put out there to help individuals move the needle in their life in any kind of situation they're in. Now, Queen Jenny, I just want to say something real quickly because I know with time, but just to show an example of how important it is to put yourself and say, okay, I need to be visible, even if it's just starting off on audio till you get to video. Because I know some people a little bit nervous about video. I get that's where I come in at. I'm your cheerleader for that. I'm your helper in that. But I also understand the baby steps you have to take. So one thing that always blows me away is when I hear people come back to me and say, Barbara, thank you so much for telling your story. Thank you so much for being on social media, being so authentic in what you just said. Thank you for just showing up and taking the time to do what you did because that helped me. And one particular story just happened 3 months ago recently, Queen Jenny, where I told my story real short and sweet. First, I was kind of okay. I'm gonna look okay. Let me back because we're real on this show, right? I was fighting it, Queen Jenny. I was like, okay, I tell this story all the time. People are probably getting tired of me. I'm thinking that in
You
my
know I'm
head.
gonna make you tell the story now, but go ahead, finish the story and then tell your other story. Go ahead.
This is what this is going into the story. So I was thinking to myself, I don't want to do it. Da, da, da. It was one of them days. I told you we always have some days. And then, inside, I call it the Spirit, Holy Spirit in me, from God. He said, no, you tell the story. That's how he talks to me. Like, no, you get out there, you tell the story. So I said, okay. So the story basically was about when I was fighting about committing suicide when I was the age of 17. And the reason being because my father just passed away and he was my whole heart. He was the one that told me, that I was a diamond in the rough. He was the one that told me that I was going to be this light to help other people. Everybody else was telling me opposite. They were calling me ugly. They would say you're fat. They say you're no good. I mean, the list goes on, Queen Jenny. So when he passed, I went downward spiral. I went to a really, really black hole. I don't know if other people you might have been there, people that are listening right now. And I didn't know how to get out of that hole at the time. At the time. But things happen in life where people come, people, places, and things are there for that particular moment to help you just climb a little bit out that hole. And at that time when I was about to say I'm going to just end this, I was in the hospital at the time because I was on a suicide watch. And an angel, which I call the nurse, came in and told me, I don't think you need to be doing whatever you're thinking. Now, this lady didn't know me from Adam or nobody. And she basically stopped me and told me, don't do it. She said, because I'm seeing something. Now, Queen Jenny, she's like, I hear something saying you are a diamond in the rough and you don't need to be thinking about leaving right now. It's not your time. Now, like I said, she didn't know me from Adam. She didn't know my dad. She didn't know how he said that to me. She didn't know none of that. That's why I said there's always people around places. I say places and things because sometimes places and things does the same thing to get you out that hole a little bit. So I told that same story on social media, and 3 days passed. Now, Queen Jenny, I seen a message in Facebook just light up. And I was like, but I didn't really know this person. I was like, okay, I don't know this particular person, but maybe, they need, maybe they see my website, whatever, right? So I popped it open. And this lady, young lady, she was like in her 20s. And she's like, I just want to thank you for saving my life. And I was like, whoa. I was like, and I'm curious. I'm like, Queen Jenny. I say somebody, back in my mind, I said, whose life did I save? What did I do? You're in your mind because she just out of the blue, right? And she told me, she said, I received your Facebook like from somebody sharing. Now they shared it out like 20 times and it got to her. Don't know this lady. Nothing, Queen Jenny. It got to her. And she said, I was at that split second when I looked at Facebook. She said, something told me to look at Facebook. She had a knife next to her arm and was about to end it. But she looked real quickly at Facebook and seen my face and heard what I was talking about. And she put the knife down and she said, this is what she was telling me through the Facebook Messenger. She said, if she took the time to get on Facebook, to be seen and heard, and tell her about her story, who am I to take my life? And maybe there's something that I need to be doing too. Now, I cherish this story, Queen Jenny, so much because I feel like this is the power pack of why everybody needs to be seen and heard. If I just help that one person the rest of my life before the day I get my wings, I always say when I get my wings. I hate to say death. So I get my wings. Then I'm happy. I am like the best person in the world right now. I'm just happy, happy, happy because that helps somebody else. It gave him hope. And she said, I saved her life. But, I really don't take all the credit for that because it took something in me, like I said, the spirit of me, God in me to say, go put that post out there. Go be seen. You said you want to be seen. See, one thing about it, you can say all day and all night of being seen and everything, but you got to be a leader in that. And I told myself, if I'm going to show people and help people and get people out of that hole, out of whatever they're dealing with, then I got to be a leader to show that I can do it too. I can't be telling Queen Jenny to do whatever and I don't do it. That's not a good leader.
All right, Your Highness, talk about truth talk, right? Like seriously, audience members. So let's be clear about something really, truly. Um, I'm on the other end of it, so I'm the parent of the child who wanted to end it.
Mm, mm,
And I was very lucky that my child, who I have permission to speak on it, so just some, I won't go into details, family. It's just more. Um, I have permission to speak on it because my daughter is of legal age now, and she was severely self-harming, like with a blade, different blades, yeah. And she
mm,
did in areas no one could see because certain children or adults in distress will do self-harming when it's visible. It's a cry for help. And
mm,
certain the scarier are the ones who hide it in places you wouldn't see because of their normal clothing. My daughter always wore long shorts and long
mm,
t-shirts, never tank tops and girly shorts. She really loved the boys section because who wouldn't? The clothing is much more comfortable there, just so you know. There's more fabric, by the way. All right. And so she hid where she was self-harming underneath her
mm,
clothing. And then when she said, I really need help, I don't think I want to be around in this lifetime anymore. It took a while before because I had not been in my body myself. So has the parents, because you're one person that kept you grounded was gone, Barbara,
mm,
Your Majesty, right? And for me, I was still grounded, but I was still in the middle of breast cancer treatment.
mm,
So around that time, we didn't realize that my getting cancer was like the last straw on my child's many layers of safety
mm,
from like childhood SA. We did not know. So it was after lots and lots of therapy, and then she got a lowdown like 3 years into therapy. We didn't know. We had no idea. Do you know how few people I left my child with? My children, my fraternal twins, my miracle babies, and it never occurred to me it would be a family member, trusted, my audio members, I'm doing quotation marks, my trusted family member, right? And the bottom line is, I'm grateful my child told me, and you know this, Barbara, and anyone else who's on either end of it, especially that beautiful listener, that wonderful miracle person that listened to you because they have many things to do. They're meant for more things. So they listen to the message God sent through you to keep them on this earth, right?
mm,
I'm very grateful and aware of how much work it takes to stay here. It is easier to exit, folks. Okay?
mm,
And so we're not going to sugarcoat it. Like we're doing real talk here. It's hard. Like Barbara, Her Majesty, and I presented these positive, we've overcome. Hello, I just posted a social media thing about like what you see versus what you don't see. We
Mm-hmm.
are all struggling behind the scenes. And the key is to remember, right? We're not alone. You're not alone. You have people like us right beside you going, you can do this. We can harness our energies together and be that ripple for good. Post the Panini, what is it, Thanos, that show where he snapped his finger and half the population disappeared. We lived through that, right? And then how many people we got remaining in the world? 8 billion right now? Maybe a little
Yeah,
less,
yeah, coming
right?
around on
Yeah.
that. Mhm.
One person can maybe affect a million or two at a time. So we need more soldiers. We need all of you to be up on with us, changing the world for the better. Cause it's changing without us. Like jump on that train. I'm like a moving lighthouse. I'm not like rooted to the ground. I'm like I'm moving. Come with me. Come with Barbara and I. Because the goal is for us to ascend. Astrology and all the woo signs are saying that we're going to another frequency of awareness.
Yes,
Are you
yeah.
ready for it? And here's the thing, and last thing that I want to make really clear, because we're in this age of exploding AI,
Mm,
and I'm like, there are some really scary instances where people are not going to human driven stories. They're going to AI for ways to cope with their depression.
yeah.
Very dangerous, folks. Please don't do that. Please go to your therapist, come to someone that can keep you safe,
Mm,
because that intelligence, it's not an intelligence, it's just a data gatherer that reflects back to you what you put into it, right?
yes.
We're going to change our awareness that we cannot heal in solitude. We all need other humans to heal.
Ooh. Queen, thank you. I want to clap. The people that are listening, I'm clapping for this wonderful queen because I'm so glad she said that because I just seen the other day, Queen, where they have those, like you said, AI apps where they were saying, well, if you need a girlfriend or boyfriend, we have this app and it'll put, you can lay next to you and it'll talk to you. I mean, I'm sitting there like, wow, no. I said, no. Now, some AI stuff I use myself because it makes time and stuff easier to build things. But when it gets to that next level like that, Queen, I'm so glad you said that. Please go to a human. A human, please. Yes.
Yeah. Some of the higher level, we're now globally ranked 10% this podcast, and the higher level people are really opening the curtain, right? One person was talking about, because they couldn't name names, obviously, it doesn't even really matter. There
Mhm.
are people who own huge AI companies who know the reality of what's really happening. And in the public face, they're very benign about the dangers to humans for it. And behind closed doors, they're well aware of it. And what's speaking for them is the money they're going to make. So they're going to be really quiet about the dangers because they want the funding coming in. When the rest of us all being told, oh, we're going to trust these big names telling us it's safe,
Mhm.
right? It's okay. And in reality, like I'm putting in please and thank you into my chat GPT. So when they take over the world, they'll remember I was the polite human. I'm like, thank you so
I'm
much.
one of the good humans.
I'm the obedient one because I'm Asian.
Be nice to me. I was one of the good ones.
I want the upper level in the matrix. Don't put me down in the basement.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't want to be in the basement, please. Oh, Queen, that is so funny. I just thought about that. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy.
Right, right. And,
But we
and
have to be careful with that, like you said, Queen. So I'm glad you brought that up. That was good.
there
Mhm.
there are now already blossoming technologies that can imitate your image. Right?
Yes.
They're getting really close. You can still tell. There's still something off about those. They're making movies now with images of made up people, right? And
Yeah.
so we're telling you that it's vitally important you stay in the race. We don't want your voice distinguished before you even used it.
Yes, that's how important this is. That's why I said, having your voice heard is so vital It's just not, oh, well, no, it's like, no, it is vital. That's why I talk about it all the time. That's why I'm always working with people all the time, because I'm like, people need to hear you, not something made up or something that was put together. They need to hear your heart, your soul, your energy. Yes.
The world deserves to hear and see you.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so
Mm.
Barbara, give this amazing audience anything that's popping into your head about what they it's absolutely essential they need to remember as we say see you next time.
What I want to say is, first, I want to say, if you never heard this, that I love you. I paused because I want people to really take that in. There's some people that I know that have not ever heard that word before in their life. And sometimes it blows my mind when I hear that, because my dad, like I said, going back to my dad real quick, he told me that all the time. My mother, yes, she told me. Different kind of relationship. That's for another show. But I loved her too, and I respected her because she gave me some things that I got to a point in my life now. But my dad was just ooey gooey love. He just loved me and he wanted to make sure I was loved. But there's people out there I know, even if you got the love when you were younger and maybe you grow up and then the love started fading away and you didn't hear it for a while. It can happen in different phases of your life, or it can happen your whole entire life, maybe. But I want to start off by saying that I love you. So you know at least one individual is thinking about loving on you. And then at that point that you know that somebody else, because we got to start somewhere with the love, then I want you to go inside of you and say, she says she loves me. Queen Jenny says she loves me. Queen Barbara says she loves me. Now I'm going to love myself no matter what. No matter what. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Your Majesty. Thank you for joining us today, Barbara.
I love you, Jenny.
I love you too, Barbara.
Oh, you're so wonderful.
We'll have to have you come back because there are like 10 other questions I want to talk about. And I want everyone to opt into your journal first and book a call with you. And then, or, we do have some listeners who are shy about that, and that's fine. You can leave a question on the YouTube episode and we'll come back and answer it, I promise. All right, because sometimes people it does take a lot of energy sometimes to book a call with someone. I'm gonna be honest, right? Because like Barbara and I, we give a lot of energy. We'll have to go recover after even this recording of this episode. That's be true, everybody. A 57-year-old woman here like telling you gotta like give yourself recovery time, right? And we're giving a lot of energy. We'll have to recover. And if you want to just ask us one simple question, two, three on the YouTube episode, we will answer you. Understand? All right. So, Barbara, thank you so much for coming. Audience members, remember, you are beloved and seen. You are worthy. See you
Yes.
next time. Bye bye. Thanks for listening to the Dance to Heal podcast with Jenny C. Cohen. Come back next time to hear stories of inspiring triumph and learn more ways that you can heal yourself. To work with me and continue your journey, visit danceandheal.com. Are you ready to move?